The guard is the signature position of jiu-jitsu, and we're going to start from the closed guard today. Now, when I'm in the guard, and when I say guard, I just want you to think legs. You'll hear a lot of terms for the guard, but as long as I have my legs between me and my opponent, I can do some things. The only two guards that I want new folks to think about are the open guard, where my legs are not locked around my opponent, or what we're going to do today, the closed guard, where my legs are locked around my opponent. Now, the attacks that I use on my opponent are going to depend on what my opponent's posture is. My opponent's posture can be high, it can be low, it can be somewhere in the middle. And what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you an attack for when my opponent's posture is low, but also how we get that person to a low posture. So if I'm in the closed guard, I'm on my back, my legs are wrapped around Dave, and they're locked, right? If it were the open guard, where I put my feet on the hips or somewhere else, we would call that the open guard. So if his posture is high, there are attacks that I can just initiate, which we'll get into in the curriculum. The hip bump sweep is an example. But sometimes you don't want your opponent to have posture. If there are strikes involved, you definitely don't want them to have posture. Plus, there are certain things that we just can't do if their posture is up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my legs to pull Dave, but I'm also going to use my arms to flare his elbows out. Your job as a white belt is to keep breathing, and if you can't breathe, tap, and also to keep your elbows in tight. If Dave's elbows are in tight, there's not much I can do to him. So this posture break is going to have two motions. First, I'm going to take my arms, and put them right behind Dave's elbows. I'm not grabbing fabric. I'm just cupping behind his elbows. This works both in the gi and out of the gi. I'm going to flare his elbows out like I'm opening French doors. At the same time, I'm going to pull him with my legs. Now, either of these motions on their own can disrupt Dave's posture, but I want to do them at the same time to sort of double my chances. So my partner comes forward. Once my partner comes forward, I've forced him to break some of the rules of being in the guard. His hands are on the mat, his posture is broken. If I want to, I can overhook and head control if I want to just keep him down. But if I want to attack, I want to put a hand in the collar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a cross grip. I'm going to open the collar out to the side and push it. As you can see, that makes a nice pocket for me to be able to stick my hand in. My hand goes palm up in a cross collar. So my right hand is going across Dave's body up into his right side collar. But I don't close my hand yet, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my left hand to feed that collar tight. I pull it nice and tight until I can't anymore, and then I grip and I bend my elbow to connect my elbow to my hip. Now if Dave tries to get his posture back, it's very difficult. He's lifting my whole body weight with just his neck. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly open my guard, maintaining connection with my thighs, switch my hips, come to the other side. This hand goes palm down. My choking hand is palm up with my palm facing me. My other hand is going to come palm down with my palm away from me, connecting the blade of my wrist to Dave's neck and gripping the collar on the other side. From here, I reclose my guard. I sit up, trying to connect the points of my elbows to my hips as I take my left ear to Dave's left ear. Let's show that from another angle. So if my partner's posture is up, there's no way I can do this technique, right? If I reach for Dave's collar, he's not going to let me get it. And even if I get it, it's not going to be deep enough in order to achieve the collar choke. When this choke goes wrong, 80% of the time, it's a bad first grip. So make sure you work a lot on getting that first grip deep. So I'm going to do two things, right? My hands, my thumbs are connected to my hands, come behind his elbows. I pull him with my legs and I flare his elbows. When his posture is broken, my left hand grips the collar, opens it out, pushes, which creates a nice pocket for my right hand to go palm up in, but I don't close my hand yet until I feed, grip, and then bend my elbow. Now, if I ever try to reach for the other side of Dave's collar, it would be very difficult. So I'm going to use my hip movement to get me in position. I open my guard, my thighs connect to his hips, and I just switch from side to side. Little technique, we want the blade of our wrist against his carotid artery, so not the flat part of our wrist. So when I come over onto one side, the blade of my wrist just touches his neck, and I grab whatever collar I can. Straighten myself out, and now I'm just going to do a little sit-up as my elbows connect to my hips. All collar chokes, or almost all collar chokes, involve connecting the points of your elbows and trying to take them to your hip bones. When we do the mounted collar choke, we'll do the same motion, but we'll have gravity on our side because we'll be doing the same mechanic, but on